You're probably sitting at your desk, scrolling through endless listings, wondering if the next digital piano you click on will actually give you something useful instead of another piece of dust collector. You don't want to throw a few $100 at a machine that sounds great in the demo video but turns out to be a disappointment when you plug it into your headphones. And you definitely don't want to end up with a unit that looks sleek but forces you to spend extra on accessories just to make it work for practice or lesson recording. Link is in the description if you want to check the product details on Amazon. In this review I'll walk through what the Kawai CX102 actually brings to a home or classroom setting, where its value really shows up, and which kinds of players should walk away before they add it to their cart. First off, the CX102 was built around Kawai's Shigeru Kawai's KEX concert grand piano sound, delivered through their harmonic imaging technology. That's not just a marketing tagline, it means the sampling engine focuses on the nuanced overtones you hear in a real Steinway, and Kawai has spent years refining the algorithm to keep those harmonics alive even when you play softly. In practice, this translates to a sound that feels surprisingly full for a digital instrument of this price range. If you're a beginner who's been terrified of sounding tinny on a cheap keyboard, you'll notice that even simple chord progressions have a richness that makes practice feel more musical. Beyond the grand piano voice, the CX102 packs 17 built-in sounds: electric piano, organ, strings, harpsichord, bass, and a few more. For a student learning a variety of repertoire, the ability to switch from a classic piano timbre to a vintage electric piano for a jazz standard, or to a bright harpsichord for a Bach piece, all without swapping gear, is a genuine convenience. I've seen this work well in a family setting where the same instrument serves a teen learning pop songs, a parent practicing classical etudes, and a grandparent revisiting old hymn arrangements. The variety is modest compared to synth-heavy workstations, but it's more than enough for most everyday practice and small-scale performances. Now, let's talk about the day-to-day tools that actually keep people coming back to the piano. The CX102 includes a built-in metronome, a 2-track recorder, and lesson functions. The recorder is particularly handy if you're a self-learner. You can lay down a quick run-through of a piece, listen back, and spot timing issues without needing any external software. The lesson mode lets you split the keyboard so a teacher can demonstrate a passage in the lower register while the student follows in the upper, or you can enable the 4-hands mode for duet practice. Those features are rarely found on entry-level keyboards, so they add real practical value if you're using the instrument for structured learning. Connectivity is where the CX102 starts to feel modern. It offers both USB-MIDI and Bluetooth MIDI, meaning you can hook it up to a laptop, tablet, or even a phone without dealing with extra cables. For anyone who likes to use Piano Remote or Pia Book Player apps to scroll sheet music, the Bluetooth link works smoothly, and the latency is low enough that you won't notice a lag when you're playing. I've used it with a simple Bluetooth speaker set up in a living room jam session, and the sound arrived almost instantly, no noticeable delay that would throw off timing. If you're a composer or home studio hobbyist, the USB-MIDI port lets you record MIDI data directly into DAWs like GarageBand or Ableton, opening up a whole workflow that goes beyond just playing. So, who should consider the CX102? If you're a student or hobbyist who wants an authentic grand piano tone without the maintenance of a real piano, and you also appreciate built-in practice tools, this is a solid middle ground choice. Apartment dwellers will like the fact that the instrument is self-contained, no need for a separate amp or external speakers if you're fine with headphone practice. Teachers who need a single instrument that can demonstrate multiple styles and support split-mode lessons will find the CX102's lesson features a time-saver. And for anyone who likes to integrate their piano with modern apps, the Bluetooth and USB options mean you won't be stuck in the past. On the flip side, there are a few trade-offs that could make you look elsewhere. The sound library, while decent, stops at 17 presets. Serious multi-instrument composers or performers who need a broader palette of orchestral sounds might feel limited. The CX102 also doesn't claim a fully weighted hammer action, which means the key feel, while decent, won't match the resistance of a high-end acoustic or a premium digital piano with graded hammer action.